Hello and welcome to my work from home setup. And in today's video, we're going to turn this into something much more organized. If you want to learn how to build your own automatic standing desk, I'll have a link in the description below. You only need a few materials. Let's go over some of the equipment that you would need. We'll start with one of the most useful and cheapest items in here. That's these Velcro cable ties. These you can get on Amazon. They're reusable. They come in numerous, I mean, look, there's like freaking 100 in this package alone, and it's like less than $5. Buy yourself a good quality power strip or surge protector with a long cord. That's the key here. You want a long extension cord, and I'll tell you why. You might be wondering what this is. It's called a J channel, and these are made of plastic. Super cheap. You can find them on Amazon. Double-sided tape, because we aren't trying to drill into the desk frame as much as we can. So double-sided tape is what allows us to essentially tape things to the bottom. So you want one that's rated to hold, and this one holds up to 15 pounds, depending on how much tape you use. What I have here is called a wire or cable management sleeve. It's just made out of plastic, and it's to help you bundle cables together to make them more aesthetically pleasing and easy to organize. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna go ahead and start organizing these wires and start cable managing. So what these J channels do, their whole purpose is so you can run your cables inside this channel and keep them organized and tucked out of the way. You see how it's organized and tucked out of the way? And these are for all the cables that, for example, like this one that dangle. You feed them through the J channel and dangle no more. Cables are organized. Our goal is to only have one wire run into these outlets. How do you do that? With the strip. That's how you do it. Everything that belongs on the desk that is powered, ideally will be plugged into a power strip, and that will be sticky side taped underneath the standing desk, tucked out of the way. With this end of the cord being the only thing plugged into the wall, so everything will look nice and tidy as if nothing exists. Now, depending on how many items you need for a power source, that'll determine how many outlets you need on your power strip. Always remember to include your standing desk power outlet, power cable, in this surge protector. People might forget that they also have to power their standing desk. So what ends up happening is they don't account for it in their strip. They don't have enough ports, and now instead of one neat wire going to the outlet, you'll have to plug in your standing desk into the outlet, and you have two wires that are dangling off the desk. Well, the actual step one before you even attempt to do anything is to figure out if this works. So don't just trust if it comes from Amazon or if it comes from a store. Don't just trust it immediately. Always test if it works, because if you don't and you screwed it or taped it to the bottom of the desk and it doesn't work, well then you gotta take it out. Hopefully I don't electrocute myself. So now that we confirmed this power strip is working, we can now go ahead and unplug it and put it up on the desk itself. Just cut off a length of double-sided tape that's about the length of the surge protector. Stick this on, peel off the back, and then we'll place it up on the desk itself. Just like that. Make sure it's firmly stuck in place. Looks good to me. And then you peel off the back. Just like that, it's good to go. And the reason why we wanted the long cord on the surge protector is so it can run down the leg as much as possible hidden while still having enough clearance to plug into the wall. We can just neatly tuck it here and behind the table leg. Now the next step is to take a J channel, put double-sided tape on the back of the J channel, and stick that J channel right next to this power strip, tucked in somewhere around the center here. I would prefer having the opening face towards the outside of the table so you have easier access to tuck your wires in. And that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put it right here. And that's that, just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one's going to be seeing this under the table, so you don't have to get a ruler out. Just use your eyeballs, man. The best thing about using tape is that you can literally rip this out without damaging the table. Imagine you put screws in here. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have holes everywhere if you mess up. So Don't worry where you stick these and if you mess up, because you're using tape in this build and it's completely reversible. So the idea is we thread it in like so. And then double back and do it for all the remaining excess. It's not the prettiest right now, but I'm doing this one-handed, guys, okay? Doing this one-handed for y'all. And then what you do is, check this out. How cool is this? You plug it in, and then you, of course, tug the rest of this back. Okay, so that's what this looks like for now. It's not the prettiest, but it does its job. The idea is to keep the cables from sagging and dangling and thus exposing itself into your line of view, into your eyesight when this is all said and done. I have extra J channels if I need. I didn't think one would be enough naturally, so what I'm going to do is figure out my other wire situations and have another J channel stuck either next to this up here or to the side over here. And I would say just like that, we are 90% of the way finished. I just have my desktop left to sit on the desk and plug in. I don't want to show that right now. That's why I have the laptops there, because the desktop kind of ruins the aesthetic feel of it, because I'll be honest with you, my desktop is kind of ugly. So I'm not going to include that in this video. I've got the Hue light strips in the back plugged in, not into the wall. No. There's only one plug into the wall, and that leads to the power strip. And there you go, the Hue light strips are plugged in to the power strip, ran across the J channel through the bottom with a few wire clips and into the second J channel, which I've placed here, and of course attached to the actual Hue light strip power control box there. In addition, I've moved cable control because it was a little bit misplaced in the center of the desk. And remember I told you how easy it was to remove things with tape? Well, I lied to you, because look at that. That is a pain to get out. Just kidding. It's better than having screws. If you had a screw, you'd have a bunch of holes and you have to use a drill. So I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Overall, not bad, right? Maybe I have to get rid of that plant. That fake tree is kind of ruining the mood here. You might be wondering, where do I plug in my MacBook? Well, the beauty of this is you have all of these extra plugs here for your Mac chargers, right? You could do this, or if you get a surge protector that I got with the USB ports, you can put your phone chargers back here as well. See the light strips? And I do have a video where I install this. So if you want to watch the how to install Philips Hue light strips video, check out in the link in the description below. Don't you guys agree? Doesn't this look so much better than the before? Do not worry about where to find all of the things I've used in this video. I will have descriptions to the exact products that I bought myself on Amazon that I used in today's video. And of course, I'll link them below. So this table, entire build was under $300. The tabletop was from IKEA. The bottom is $250, $225, all on Amazon. So after installing this power supply here, I realized that wasn't exactly the best place meant, because in this orientation, the power plugs here kind of dangle downwards a little too much. So what I'm doing is I took this off and I keep the original tape back here, and I put another piece of double-sided tape on the top of your side. Now, the reasoning and thought process behind this is if I orientate this like that, it accomplishes the same objective while also allowing me a lot of wiggle room to position the plugs better, in a better manner. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on in this orientation and show you what I mean and what this looks like after it's done. I hope you can see what I mean by this orientation. So instead of the plug being vertically placed like this, you see how it doesn't really bend that well. Here you go. It doesn't bend that well in that position. If you flip it on the side, notice how there's no sag in the wire, with the exception of the Philips Hue here. A solution to this issue, where the adapter is the plug itself and it kind of has this issue of dangling now, is you get one of those swivel heads, the ones with the outlets that you can turn. If you spend a little money on that, then you can imagine this turning 90 degrees and being flush and parallel and this wire will be a little more hidden than it is currently now. And if you notice, we didn't have to do any unscrewing because tape, double-sided tape, strong enough to hold it, but not strong enough that you can't redo it. And it left no damage to the underside of this cheap table. And believe me, this was a $50, actually it was a $40 table from IKEA. So this is all paper on the underneath, and it did not rip the paper.